In this video, we will talk about the 5 steps that you can use to solve any linear equation. Any equation that you should come across this year, you can solve by these simple steps. The first step is to distribute. We have a video on distributing. The second step is combining like terms. We have a video on combining like terms. The third step is getting all the variables on one side. We have a video on getting the variables on one side. These last 2 steps, adding or subtracting something to both sides, or adding or multiplying, dividing something to both sides, these together basically make up a 2-step equation. There are some very rare ones where you switch step 4 and step 5, but not very many. Let's see how this works. Here are my 5 steps. I have an equation here that actually looks pretty complicated. But all I'm going to worry about is step 1, which is distribute. I'm going to multiply this 2 times this 6x, this 2 times negative 3, this 5 times 8, and this 5 times negative 3x. So I get here 12x minus 6 and then I have my plus 2 equals 40 minus 15x plus 10x. All I did was the distributive property there. I have another equation. It looks a little simpler. It doesn't have parentheses. That was step 1. Let's do step 2. Combine like terms. Where are my like terms? Well, I have a negative 6 and a 2, and I have a 15x and a 10x. So that's going to give me a 12x, negative 6 plus 2 is simply a minus 4, is equal to 40 minus 15x plus 10x is just a minus 5x. You can see that my equation is getting simpler, but all I really needed to do there was step 2. Step 3 says get all the variables on one side. I've got a 12x here and a minus 5x there. Let's get rid of the minus 5x. So I'll do a plus 5x on this side and a plus 5x on that side. That should give me a 17x minus 4 is equal to 40. Now I have a simple 2-step equation. Step 4 says add or subtract something to both sides. Many people make a mistake. You want to get rid of the stuff that's with the x. We're trying to get the x by itself, so I want to get rid of this minus 4. I will do that by adding 4 to both sides. Plus 4 plus 4. Once I've done that, I have 17x is equal to 40. Step 5 is multiply or divide something to both sides. I have 17 times x, so I will simply divide both sides by 17. Now some students panic when they get to this 40 divided by 17 and they plug it into their calculator. And they usually get a really ugly decimal. This is why I prefer fractions. 40 divided by 17 written as a fraction is simply 40 17ths. Now if you wanted to put that into an improper fraction and put that into a mixed number or a decimal, you could, but as a mathematician this is actually a much more useful form. So you can always leave your fractions as an improper fraction in this class. Many of your homework assignment problems will result in whole numbers, but it doesn't have to, and it's actually relatively easy. Just that very last step, I just turned my division into a fraction.